Hi, I'm Adam. I'm going to briefly talk about some of my experiences from doing mindfulness into action. So I will start from the beginning. One day in November in 2014, Dr. Mariana Vergara came to my university in Norway. And she spoke in one of my classes and asked for participants for her Mindfulness into Action project. My first thought was, this sounds like it could be a life hack. So I went and signed up because I thought it might be interesting. At first I was a little skeptical. The first meeting was more or less 2 days after I have received information on how the exercises work. So I had been doing the exercises for 2 days and I did not really understand what it was all about. When everyone had arrived, at the first meeting, we started to talk about how it went during the exercises the first days. And despite Mariana saying that we would notice things about ourselves that we did not see before, I was very skeptical. All I could see was opportunity. I thought that these meetings are excellent opportunities for me to show off. But since the exercises were very easy to execute, I decided to do them regardlessly, regardless of believing that I would not see results. But I was wrong. I was very wrong. After the first few days, in the first week, I noticed something I never noticed before. I could feel that I had this physical tension in my entire body. And it was like I was contracting every muscle in my body, especially in my jaw. And this tension was there from the moment I woke up in the morning and until the moment I went to bed. I had it constantly. And every hour I tried to release this tension, but it was always back within the next hour. After I had been releasing this tension every hour for a couple of days, I woke up one morning without the tension. And I felt so incredible. Like I felt I had so much more energy. And I was able to do physical exercise with ease. And not only that, something that surprised me a lot was that my breakfast, which is the same breakfast I eat every morning, like with oatmeal and coffee, and I still do that today as well. And that day it smelled better, it tasted better, and it was like my senses had been enhanced. It came like a huge surprise for me. I had not expected that at all. When we met up for the next meeting and shared our findings, I felt that we bonded, and it was a very good feeling. And Mariana asked if we wanted to share our findings in a conference on the University in Norway. And I said yes. But I was very nervous because at that conference, there were only like professors and doctorate students. And I had this mentality of hierarchy, that some people are better than others, and depending on their degree. And I hadn't even completed my first semester, and I felt I was very inferior when I was in this conference with the professors and the doctorate students. So I felt a lot of pressure. But the conference went well, and everyone seemed very interesting. But this feeling of inferiority did not pass. And later, Mariana asked if I wanted to be her research assistant so that I could teach this methodology to other people. And considering how this methodology has changed me and changed my life, I felt like that's something I want to do. And I want to give other people the chance to experience the same change. So there was talk about going to Ecuador and teach Mia at one of the universities there. At first, I had no intention of going because my zone of comfort was limited to the path to the store from my apartment and the path to the university. And Ecuador is on the other side of the world, so that's very far out my comfort zone. But when the deadline for signing up came close, I decided to sign up just to have the option to change my mind, just in case. But one thing led to another, so I handed in the documents I needed and all that stuff, and before I knew it, I was ready to go. And then I thought, oh well, I might as well go. It could be an adventure. So I went. And in order to have these participants in Ecuador, we offered like a doctorate program at my university in Norway, like an incentive for them to take the course. The perception of hierarchy was still on my mind at that time. And I was going to teach this methodology to professors at the university in Ecuador. So I was feeling very insecure because I still felt inferior to begin with. But before the first meeting, I was able to overcome that feeling of inferiority and go through the meeting with confidence. And it felt very, very good. And after that, I felt like a change. I felt like the perception I had of the hierarchy started to fade, slowly by slowly. And now the mentality of the hierarchy, for me, it's completely gone. Now I don't care what position a person has. For me, everyone is the same. Like I see people as people. Like we're all the same. And also the meetings that we did in Ecuador, they were done in English. Because if you're going to take a doctorate in Norway, you need to speak English. And in Ecuador, there's not many people who speak a lot of English. And because the language seemed to be like an issue on what we were trying to achieve with this methodology, they were able to explain situations that had happened that showed that they had changed. And this came as a surprise for me, because at first it did not seem that they had changed at all, because I thought they were had misunderstood and stuff like this. But in fact, they had actually changed, and I'm very glad that the language was not a barrier. And also when it comes to their English improving, they have improved only by us talking in English. There has been no formal English teaching, we've just been talking in English. And one of the participants at the start could barely get out a few words, and he needed a lot of time to think. But now he speaks very fluently, and he doesn't need time to think before talking, and that's a big, big improvement for that little work. And also now I'm teaching that methodology to one of the students of one of the professors who is doing it with me. And these students are the research assistants of that professor. Because he's working with his doctorate, he's going to work with dairy products. And also the other professor has his doctorate with architecture. And these doctorate students will go to the Amazon together with students from NTNU in Norway and Columbia University, and we will do like multidisciplinary research together. And that is the plan later this year. And that's what I have for now.